Hey everybody, it's Shaman Sister Sin, and I just wanted to expand a little bit on a video I put up a few days ago regarding misunderstandings with narcissists. One of the things that we listed as causing misunderstanding with narcissists is lack of empathy. Why does lack of empathy cause misunderstandings with narcissists? Well, it happens in large part because even though we may not necessarily realize it, empathy is required for communication. A large amount of communication is nonverbal. Empathy helps us pick up on the nonverbal cues from other people so that we can properly contextualize what they're saying. Excuse me. If you cannot read these cues or if you can't interpret them successfully, you're probably going to misinterpret a lot of what other people are saying to you. And though there are many misunderstandings with narcissists regarding word usage and what words mean and all these semantic things, many misunderstandings with pathologically narcissistic people revolve around misunderstanding motive, intention, tone, emotional state of the other person. Basically, instead of understanding the other person's emotions and using those to contextualize the conversation, they're reacting to their own emotions, their own feelings, their own thoughts, their own beliefs. Complicating things further is the fact that because they cannot take ownership of these things, they generally project them outward and they then experience them as coming from an external source, meaning you. So, how does projection result in misunderstanding with narcissists? Narcissists cannot take ownership of their feelings and emotions, as we said. They project them outward in an effort to distance and disconnect themselves from them because emotions are overwhelming, they're difficult to understand, they're hard to deal with, they're scary. This results in narcissists experiencing their emotions as coming from external sources, such as other people. I feel bad, so you must be making me feel bad is a very simple way to understand this. When we say feelings are facts to a narcissist, this is a good example. Because they feel bad, it's now a fact that you caused that. It had to come from somewhere, and they are unable to identify themselves as the source of the feelings. Empathy requires a small amount of basic projection in order to function. We have to be able to put ourselves in another person's shoes to understand how they feel. This is using projection to defend and to escape rather than to understand and invite. This is projection taken to its most unhealthy extreme, where the person doing the projecting not only doesn't understand the other person's emotions, they don't understand their own either. They are seeking to disconnect from these emotions entirely and make them the other person's responsibility. Another thing we have talked about recently are ideas of reference. Ideas of reference mean that the person has the idea that you are referencing them with your words or your behavior, right? It manifests as people believing things are about them that are not. A basic example of this could be a narcissist believes that a song you chose is some kind of hidden or indirect message to them. Narcissistic people are very egocentric. They believe they are the cause, the result, the motive for everything that happens around them. If narcissistic pathology is very severe, ideas of reference can come across as delusional because the misinterpretation is so extreme. This causes many misunderstandings with narcissists. They seem to be unable to understand that things can happen which really have nothing to do with them at all. This way of thinking is typically seen in small children. As children grow, they develop a more complex and complete understanding of the world, of other people, of their own place in the world, and that results in them having a more realistic understanding in general of like what's going on. This does not happen with narcissists, and they continue to believe that everything that goes on around them is because of them or directed toward them. This, of course, creates massive misunderstandings with narcissists because, in their opinion, it makes sense to them that what you're doing or saying must have something to do with them because everything does, and there's no way to talk them out of that. There is no room in their understanding for other people to be independent, individual beings who have motives, wants, desires, feelings, or anything else that have absolutely nothing to do with them. this is the way that very small children understand and relate to parents and other caregivers. Basically, you exist because I exist. There's no understanding of the caregiver as a separate individual who has anything outside the relationship with the child. Children grow out of this as they get older. Narcissists do not. They still relate to everybody in this same way. So I hope that cleared a few things up for you, and I hope it gave you a little bit more clarity regarding why there are so many misunderstandings with pathologically narcissistic people. May the Great Spirit bless you. Have a beautiful day.